Hi, and welcome to my channel. My name is Kim, otherwise known as the Booker Harlot, because I am obsessed with all things Booker Prize related, as you will soon find out. So it is April 2023. The Booker International Longlist has just been announced, which I am super excited about. So I thought I would do a reading vlog centered around the two books I can get a hold of on my hands right now. While I wait for the other books to come in. So the first one that I will be reading, that I actually own have in my house, which has never happened in the history of my following the Booker International. So super excited about that. This is The Birthday Party by Laurent Montagnier, and it's translated from the French by Daniel Levine Becker. It is published by Fitzcarraldo Press, whom I am obsessed with. I love this press. I wish that they were more readily accessible in Canada. I splurged and got a subscription, so that's why I have this in my hands. But to be honest, I don't think I've ever read a book that they've published that I don't love. And they dominated the Book International with 3 books nominated last year. They've got another 3 books listed for the long list this year, so it's nice to bring some light to a small press. So I'll be reading The Birthday Party, and I will also be reading, I will be listening to Time Shelter by Georgi Gospodinov on my handy little phone. And it is I believe, a dystopian novel about a retirement home that is outfitted in different decades in order to make people who are suffering from Alzheimer's and dementia a little bit more comfortable. Anyways, that's what I planned for this video, so thank you so much, and I will report back when I have something to say. Hello. Why is it every time I'm filming you're here? So I am halfway through The Birthday Party, and this is amazing. I am so excited by this book. I'm about halfway through, and it's about 500 pages, and normally I would think 500 pages is long, but this is so brilliant. I'm so glad there's 500 pages of it. So starting off, this is classified as a thriller, but for about the first 50 to 100 pages, it does not read like a thriller at all. I would call it literary fiction. The prose is extraordinary. Sentences are very long, almost a paragraph, if not a paragraph, which creates this rhythm. And because it takes such a time commitment to even read one sentence, it's like being pulled into this vortex. He does interesting things like plant tiny little subtle Easter eggs. So at the top of the page you read, this is spoiler free, the top of the page you'll read a little fact about a character, but by the bottom of the page, another character has subtly contradicted that, and it's so well done that I will literally be in the middle of some sort of mundane task and think, did I read that? Is that right? But this character said that, but that character said... I am literally hauling this everywhere I go. I read this my work breaks. Any 5 minutes I have, this is in my purse because this is brilliant. Another one of the things that he does is insert literal ideas, literal images, I should say. So the hamlet that this takes place on is called Three Lone Girls, and literally there are 3 lonely girls. A storybook that's read at night is called Stories of the Night. There you have it. And the characters all have these incredible secrets. They are just, each character is so intense and so enthralling and has so many layers. I have never read a thriller like this before. He builds suspense in such a way I have never seen. I am so thrilled by this book. The twists and turns that happen, I never see coming. Every time I think that this is going to turn into a conventional thriller, it does not. So please, stop this video, go out, order yourself a book. If you're in North America like I am and it costs you $25 to bring it across the pond, it is totally worth it. Thank you to the International Booker Judges for nominating this book and putting it on my radar. And thank you to Fitzcarraldo Press for publishing it. Hi Wednesday. If you're as geeky as I am and you Google everything that this man has ever written because you need it in your life now, you should go do that, because just look at the titles of his previous work. It will blow your mind. Time to go home? I have just finished reading The Birthday Party, and this book did not disappoint. He does suspense in a way that I have never read before. This book is a sit on the edge of your seat while your coffee gets cold kind of read. I highly recommend it. I really hope it wins the International Booker. And I'm going to have to find everything this man has ever written in translation, because he is that good. So on to The Time Shelter by Georgi Gospodinov, which, to be quite honest, probably doesn't stand a chance after reading The Birthday Party. So I am more than halfway through listening to Time Shelter, which is translated from the Bulgarian by Angela Rodell and narrated by Jeff Harding. It's a very interesting, very different book. The premise of it is that the main character... There's a crazy thunderstorm here. I apologize if you're hearing that. So the premise of the book is that a time shelter is being built for people who suffer from memory loss. And there's different floors that have different decades, and people gravitate towards them and sort of come to life. And then there's a shift in which people who don't suffer from memory loss start to gravitate towards the different floors. The first half of the book is really well done, which surprises me because there doesn't seem to be much of a plot. But the satire and the dark wit is done so well that I'm sort of all there for it. He does quirky things like talk about the forget-me-nots that is planted in front of the time shelter for people with memory loss. The first part is sort of interconnected short stories about different characters, but they're so well done and the characters are so interesting that I was engaged by it. The second half of the book I'm struggling with. It takes a turn in which the phenomenon in which people who don't suffer from memory loss and are gravitating towards the different decades of the past, it infiltrates the social and political atmosphere of Europe. And the character leaves the time shelter and goes back to his hometown to examine his past. And it's not working for me. I think because the satire, the wit isn't as finely honed in as the first part of the book. It seems to be absurdity for absurdity's sake. I guess that's how you would say it. There is a passage at the beginning of the book that was so beautifully done. It has resonated and seemed to have stuck in my head. It's a passage in which he describes all the different European countries and in which time period of your life you should go live in. And there's a funny little joke at the end about how he considers New York City a European country. It just had the unfortunate circumstances of migrating across the pond. Extremely well done. I would be surprised by the end of this book if I couldn't rename it Time Shelter, aka Gospodinov's PhD thesis on time, because there isn't an aspect of time that he has not examined. I just finished Time Shelter, and to be honest, it's not for me. If I were to take a step back from the novel and look at the structure, I think that it's very imaginative and inventive. But I think that the places that he went to in terms of social and political commentary towards the last 2/3 of the book, it didn't work in terms of the dark wit and satire not being as finely tuned as the beginning of the book. We have Ripley here. Hi, the bonus. Which is funny because a lot of reviewers love it more than the first part of the book. So the exact same opposite as myself. But I'm glad I read it. I would definitely read him again. And, you know, I just finished The Birthday Party. What book is going to be any good after that? So I'm going to end the vlog here. Thank you for following along with me for the Booker International Long List. If you're so inclined, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.